For the last 12 months or so, BYD has been making strong inroads in the Philippine market with their range of new electric vehicles, just like the BEV, the Atto 3 crossover SUV. But now there's a new challenger, and it's from another brand that we're all very familiar with. It's Geely, and this is the EX5. Let's see how these two compare. Hey everyone, Vince here from AutoIndustriya, and today we have probably a very interesting comparo if you're in the market for a BEV, because we have two new battery electric vehicles here for you today, two of which from well-known brands, already established brands in our market at affordable prices, and both are crossovers. Yes, we all know everyone wants a crossover because of the practicality it offers. On my left, we have the established player. This is the BYD Atto 3. On my right, we have a new and upcoming model, but also from an established player, because this is the Geely EX5. Which one is going to be the more advantageous one for you? Well, watch on to find out. But first, full disclosure, Geely asked us to do this comparison video, which says a lot because it takes quite a bit to try and take on the BYD Atto 3, but Geely thinks they can do it. But they're not going to interfere in what we think or say about these two vehicles. So let's get it on. So let's start with the BYD Atto 3, known in China as the U1 Plus. So what do we see with the front? Well, it does have the adaptive LED headlights that do look good. Big BYD logo there, the satin silver trim there, which we prefer over chrome. And then you have this front clip, which, you know, it reminds me of the bad boy sticker from back in the 90s with the angry guy and the cheeks, but it still does look very good, and it's been around since 2022, so it's already an established player in our market. The vehicle itself measures just over 4.4 meters long. It's got these 18-inch wheels. Clearance when laden of about 150 millimeters overall, but it does have a nice stance to it. It's got these conventional door handles, the grip type, which are nice and robust, and has the button there to lock and unlock. This example is tinted. It's very, very nice. Does have some details here. It's part of the Dynasty series that they have over there. Now, in terms of the back, very, very neat. The full width LED light bar over here. But what's great is when we pop open the space. So what do we get? Well, we get a space that's about 31.5 inches overall from here to there. We'll have all the measurements there, and we can fold down the rear seat 60/40 style. Gives us 56.5 inches overall in length for the cargo space. But what's really neat about this vehicle is that when you pop this open, if you notice, there's also another compartment just below. You have your mobile AC charger there. Reflective vest. Yes, reflective vest. It's actually a good thing that these vehicles do come with that. Early warning device and the tire repair kit. But what we like is that when we don't need to have this compartment here, we can push down this rear tray, and it gives you even more length, even more capacity in your vehicle. If the BYD Atto 3 goes for a more sporty, more aggressive aesthetic, the EX5 does go for a more mature and minimalist styling. You can see it with the front and the details. It's very, very clean to look at overall. They're trying to not put any cuts and black spaces here and there. They just want to keep it clean. So if you look at the front bumper, the front clip, you can see that it's almost one continuous piece, no breaks in there apart from the lights down here and the sensors over there. And then even the Geely logo, very, very neat. It's far more rectangular than the one we've become used to. The lights also very minimalist. These are the nicer LED lights with the DRLs. Very clean to look at. Now, when we move over to the side, you can see that the vehicle, with the Atto 3 in the background, it is significantly bigger because this is 4.6 meters long, just a little bit over it, and 1.9 meters wide. So significant differences in terms of size. Even with the wheels, these are 19s compared to 18s with the Atto 3. Now, the size of this it's gonna make a big difference in a lot of things. First is going to be the space in terms of passenger space as well as cargo space. More on that later, but more importantly, it also changes the architecture underneath, gives them more space to play with to strengthen the vehicle overall. Now, as you can see, it's been locking and unlocking, and the reason for that is that it does have these door handles that go flush. So when it's unlocked, it stays in the out position. When it's locked, it goes down flush. I mean, of course, when it's locked, when you're driving, the side mirrors won't fold, but there you go. Now for the charging port, it's right here. So this, if you notice, it opens up butterfly style, very, very neat. But you have an AC port and the DC fast charge port. So it's a CCS2. It can make use of a lot of the chargers already available in our market. And when you're using AC mode, it's actually good because this one can do up to 11 kilowatts, which is good compared to the Atto 3, which I think does around 7 overall. So 7 to 11. Now, what else do we see? It's got a 360 camera, the repeaters, the sensors here for the blind spot warning. It's all housed there, but again, very minimalist design. Yes, locking, unlocking. I'd like to do that whenever I walk up to it. I'm sure when I walk up to it now, it's gonna unlock again. See, there you go. It likes to do that with the key in my pocket. Now over here to the back, we will see the aesthetic here is also very, very minimalist. They're also going with the full width LED lights with the little details here. Looks very neat. High mount stop lamp there. Your brake lights are actually right here, along with the third one there. Down here, we've got the part of the camera system of the vehicle for the 360 camera. So yes, very clean, very classy look that they're going for with the EX5. Now, when we go in closer, we will see the space of the vehicle. So in terms of this configuration, right now it's got 33.5 inches overall, with 39 inches of width overall as well. But you can fold down that rear seat to give you a maximum of 59.5 inches overall. This can also drop down to give you a bit more height. So when you do that, gives you a bit more height over here, which I think is very neat. And also, if it's in the up position, then you can have stuff underneath. But what's great here, come closer, it has a huge compartment under there. So we're used to a lot of EVs kind of sacrificing on the cargo space. This one, no. So you got your AC charger here, tire mobility kit there, early warning device, and some other marketing stuff that they got there. But the size here is like 31 inches wide, 11 inches long or deep, and then of course that lateral depth or the vertical depth is about 15. So it's a sizable cargo space in this vehicle, even though it does have a little bit of a sacrifice. So see this? This is a subwoofer. It's actually taking up a little bit of the space, but let me tell you now, when you're driving it and enjoying the audio of this, it is absolutely worth it. Now, this is where it gets interesting when we're talking about the numbers. So let's start with the battery capacity. That's very important. The battery capacity of this, 60.5 kilowatt hours. The electric drive system is here in front. It's a front-wheel drive vehicle, actually both of these are. And it's got 204 PS and 310 Newton meters of torque. You've got many modes you can play with, depending if you want acceleration, if you want efficiency, if you want maximum range. Depending on what you want to do, you can maximize it. And speaking of range, in the NEDC cycle, this can do 480 kilometers. Of course, we're talking NEDC. In real world, it's going to be different, but it gives us a basis to compare these two vehicles. So the engine bay, if we can still call it engine bay, in the EX5, well, you can see that it fills it up a little bit more. In terms of power, you've got 217 PS or 160 kilowatts. In terms of torque, you've got 320. So a little bit more power and a little bit more torque compared to the Atto 3. And also when it comes to the range, this one can do 490 kilometers based on the NEDC range. In the WLTP, they claim 425, which is also still a little bit more than the Atto 3 over there. And it's doing that with a 60.22 kilowatt hour battery, which is technically just a little bit smaller than the Atto 3, but they're able to get more range out of this and more power. How were they able to do that? Well, the beauty of technology, because they've got a new 11-in-1 drive system right here in front. We can see it down below. We can even see the conduits, how it's all very neatly laid out, and we like it that way. One rather unique thing here, apart from the way they laid out the engine bay or the motor bay, is this little loop here. You see, this is something we don't really see in any other EV. We usually see this in race cars. It's an electricity cutoff or an electronic cutoff for the entire vehicle. It's even got a fireman's logo on it, so if ever in an emergency, hopefully not, you've got this to be able to yank and cut the power to the vehicle. I think that's pretty cool. I remember when I first drove the Atto 3, I thought to myself, they really made it for the kid in you, because looking around at all the details, it just looks so different and neat. There's always something to discover when you're driving this. Like, for example, the steering wheel, flat bottom with all the controls here for the ADAS, for the cruise control, and to rotate that screen. You got it here, the audio. The screen here is also very nice. I mean, it is a bit smaller compared to the one on the EX5, but it does have all the information you need for your drive. The way they did the dashboard with the wave thing going on there looks very neat. It's very interesting to look at when you're in traffic. Even the details of this, I mean, it does remind me of like a jukebox, like the CD jukebox or a record jukebox in the way this looks. You have the tray here for your wireless charger. This one reminds me of a flight sim, the throttle on an airplane. It does look cool. I mean, I don't know if it's the real thing, but still, that's what it reminds me of. The buttons here, the cup holders, they just stick something new and something different with this vehicle. And then even with the door handles, to open it, you rotate this. It's just very different. It's very cool. Even the doors, to retain the stuff you have in the door pockets, it has these guitar strings to kind of hold everything in place. Of course, it's not really practical, but still, it's a nice little thing that differentiates it from a lot of things, especially this rotate screen like we showed you. Although I haven't really found a use for it, because when you use Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, both of which are actually not available in the EX5 just yet, but when you use the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, this one, it has to be in the landscape mode, not in the portrait mode, so kind of loses the point of that. I mentioned all of these in my review of this vehicle. You can check the link of that in the description below. But still, it's a very fresh interior, even though it is a bit cozy when you compare it to the EX5 directly, especially in the back seat. When you compare this to the back seat of this to the EX5, there is quite a bit of difference. But where they do share a lot of commonalities are in the equipment that they share. For example, the mirrors, the sunroof over there, all very big. The seats are very comfortable, but this one does not get one nice and trick feature that the EX5 gets. We'll show you in a bit. But what we like here is that you can access like your AC already, even though there are no AC controls. You can access it quickly by temperature. You can do that, the 3-finger push, and then same with the fan speed. We'll just keep it at 3 for now. What else do we see around here? I mean, we're in the home mode already. It's got the good 360 camera. When you do it here, it's very clear. But I have to say, the response on the one in the EX5, the clarity of the graphics is very good, and that one is also faster, but more on that in a bit. Now, what else do we see? Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, the smart charging feature there. But all in all, it's a very complete. I'm not going to use Stingray karaoke. I mean, I don't want you guys to hear me sing, but I'd rather hear the audio in the EX5. So let's head on over there now and see what that one has to offer. If the interior of the Atto 3 was a lot sportier, a lot younger, well, this one is certainly more mature, more reserved, and it's a very interesting difference between the two just at first glance. Now, we look around the dashboard. It's a very clean aesthetic. They're not going for the waves that the BYD guys go with a lot of their vehicles. They're going for a more clean look. So you can see more straight lines. There are some curves here, but all in all, it's almost like what's on the outside translated inside. Very minimalist and very clean. So let's look at the dashboard first. We have two screens here. This one is just over 10 inches wide, which is actually interesting. And then you have this one that is 15.4 inches, which is almost the same size as the one in the Atto 3, but this one doesn't rotate. They decided to forego on that, which I think is a clever choice because personally, the rotating screen, I've never really used it, so it's nice to have it in this landscape mode. Up top, you see this cutout here? That is actually a heads-up display which projects onto the screen. So you get your speed, your ADAS settings. Yes, it has a lot of ADAS features in this vehicle. But the speakers, like I said, it has these Fly Me audio speakers. There's 16 of them all around the vehicle, and the sound is just fantastic. I have to tell you that. I mean, we can't demonstrate the sound for you, but once you play any kind of high bass or even like music where it demands clarity, these work really, really well. Even on the windshield, there's a nice little detail here. See this right here on the lower left corner? Those are the pagodas of Westlake in China, in Hangzhou, which is the hometown of Geely. Anyways, we're looking at the steering wheel. It has a flat bottom and a flat top, which is rather unique. It's very futuristic in how it looks, and it's just really different and nice. You got buttons on the left which control, like it's a directional switch which can control what you're seeing depending on what you're doing, for the ADAS in particular. And then on the right, you have this, if you press up and down, it's the volume. Left and right is the next track depending on the mode. Let's press now. See, volume up, volume down, and then your your voice command here. You can switch between either one depending on which one you want to control. Like for example here, we're going through the info now of this screen here, and then you press it again, it switches to this one, allows you to control the volume and the next track like I showed you earlier. Now, going around some of the other features, everything kind of slopes up to this. It gives it a nice like cockpit feel without, I mean, it's even got the glass cockpit, the display with the front and here in the middle as well. Very clean. AC vents here, same on the other side. You have your AC controls here. So you do have controls on the screen as with a lot of other vehicles. But this one, it has actual physical buttons. So the recirculate is here, auto is here, but it'll make it a bit loud. So we'll turn that off. And then your defogger is over here. Now, this knob and button is actually a multifunction one. So in any normal mode, this will control the volume. So you can see it there. Control the volume of the system. But if you press it, it'll switch. Let me try it now. It'll switch to air volume or the strength of the fan. So if I rotate it, it gives you more volume depending on which one. It's going to be very useful here in the Philippines. And press it again and then rotate back to the normal quieter setting. We'll have the AC on later. It's a different version to what BYD uses. They use a 3-finger method here. None of that. And if you swipe down here, you'll get a lot of the functions of the vehicle. So you have your drive modes, eco, comfort, and sport. This relaxation phase we'll get to in a bit. The brightness, the passenger seat settings. You got driver's seat ventilation, all there. The adjustment of the heads-up display, and the sunroof. Yes, panoramic sunroof. So right now we have it fully open. Let's fully close it now, which is right there. It's actually a very intuitive system. Same with the sunroof. If you wanted to open, if you wanted to, let's say, let me fully open that now, and then put it into ventilation mode. See, it gives you a nice little vent there, and you can open it all the way if you so want. It's a very intuitive system. No real guessing. It just gives you all the points where the stops for the different settings of the system. Anyways, now the screen here, it has a lot of functions. So for one, it has the Bluetooth, it has the Android mirroring, but eventually it will get Apple CarPlay. So for now, it's not available. By September, it will be available here, which is a good thing because it allows you to maximize the great audio system in the vehicle. Now, going through some of the apps here. By the way, this will eventually update over the air or OTA, depending on the apps that Geely releases. But if you notice, the graphics are very, very nice in this vehicle. Oh, by the way, let me show you that again. If you swipe left, you'll get different views. Swipe again. It depends on the image you want to show, but it does look very cool. Ooh, that's a lot of snow. It has different modes for the vehicle. So the relaxation space, if we press that, it gives you a break in the vehicle, which is kind of cool. But what we like is this one, the camping space. So what this does when you activate this mode, press that again. When you activate this mode, it gives you the ability to use the V2L in a camping mode, meaning it keeps the V2L on, doesn't shut it off, meaning the vehicle to load. So it allows you to power, let's say, your devices if you have the adapter plugged in, to power your devices or any kind of gear using the battery of this. That's the great thing about these EVs. It gives you that versatility when you're out in a place where there's no energy to make use of. It gives you that, and it'll limit how much you can safely use overall, which is good. Once we get out of camping space, we can play with some of the other functions of the vehicle. Here is a 360 camera. You see the front side, of course, the door being open, it's gonna show a weird view. And then same with the back, and then the rear view there, we can see the Atto 3 over there. Now, one great thing about this this vehicle is that it does have a seat massage, amongst other nice functions with the seat. So for example, once we go here to the seat massage function, we can choose a kind of massage or whatever we want in the vehicles. For example, we can try the serpentine, and it's it's really good. I mean, I have to say, I mean, it's a really good seat massage for the driver. Don't use it too much. Don't fall asleep while you're driving. This is something that can be really maximized by the front passenger, because once we play around with the front passenger seat, it has those same modes. Like you can see here, you can see it extending here a bit, playing around here, which is cool. And once we adjust the settings of the seat, let's see, let me adjust those settings right now. There you go. So for the driving cozy seats, so the driver's seat, you can adjust it here as well, but you do have the power buttons here. But the front passenger seat is the one where all the toys are at. So you do have the same seat massage here, which is not available in the Atto 3, but here you can also have the recline and all that, but it comes with the leg rest. So if we press and hold, you can see the leg rest coming up. See, so it basically becomes like a nice lounger over here. So whoever is the passenger princess, they're gonna have a wonderful time here in the EX5. So what else do we see when we look around? We have very spacious driver and front passenger door pockets with the bottle holders. Up here, we have dual cup holders where I put my glasses. I kind of wish it had a sunglass holder, but this one does not come with that. So here, dual cup holders, but it does get the slot for the tickets. You can also use it here. I mean, for RFID cards and such, always handy. This is the key of the vehicle, right? So it has a Geely logo there, the new one. And then it has the lock, unlock, and then the trunk release here. And by the way, to access all of these, most of these functions, you can actually do it right here when you swipe down. So you'll have access to all of that, including the trunk if you want to do so, and the vehicle power off over there, very, very easy. So when we close this up, see what I mean about not having a sunglass holder. See, what else do we see? There's a big spacious compartment under here because it's a two-tier design. Very useful with a USB port and a USB-C port, 12-volt outlet as well. Spacious compartment here, glove compartment over there. The seats, like I mentioned, very nice. But here in the back, you've also got plenty of space. That's the advantage of having the bigger vehicle with the longer wheelbase. You get more leg room, and you also get more knee room, and you have that center armrest where you can relax and enjoy the sunroof and the long drive. Now, speaking of drive, let's take it on a brief drive around here and show you how this vehicle feels, because it is really nice and quiet, and we won't disturb any of the animals in this place. With the Geely EX5, what is very clear from the start is that this is a comfortable cruiser of an EV. Meaning, when you drive it around, it's not trying to be sporty and fun. It can be, but you can tell that the priorities were comfort. Like here, driving now on EDSA, it's doing a really great job suppressing all these bumps here. Some bumpy parts, not a problem. You're not feeling it. I mean, yes, yeah, the car goes up, but it just feels like it's very well suppressed and very well controlled. And for a daily drive, that's what all of us want. We just want a comfortable car. And that's what this absolutely delivers. Like when you take it around, you're not really worrying about, moving over to another lane or something like that. It just takes care of the rough stuff on the road for you. And it's loaded with all of these advanced safety features that try to help you keep in lane, keep you alert, and it has that adaptive cruise control, sorry, intelligent cruise control to help you along, especially when you're on a long drive. And a long drive, this would be great for because you've got a fantastic view all around. You've got a comfortable suspension setup and just feels very well built. Oh, did I mention the audio system is really fantastic on this one? Now, when it comes to charging, it does use Type 2 or the DC fast charging, so CCS2. And if you can get to those, I mean, there's plenty of them around. It makes it very convenient for you to charge. Once you plan out your route, you'll know exactly where all these chargers are, and you can adapt your driving and your route to whatever charging station is available. And over time, we'll probably see more charging stations pop up at Geely dealerships. And speaking of Geely, we have to remember that it was really like 5 or 6 years ago that they were establishing themselves in the market, and they did it very strongly with the Coolray, the Azkara, and the Okavango, but particularly the Coolray, which was a very sporty, very fun to drive type of compact crossover SUV. And it really won over a lot of customers with the quality and with the sporty drive. But with this new EX5, they're going for a more discerning customer. Someone who just wants a great daily driver, not really worry about anything else, especially with the aesthetics, with the feel, and with the driving dynamics of this. It's actually a nice, everyday, comfortable daily drive. So how does this compare to the Atto 3? Well, I've driven the Atto 3 on many occasions in the past for long drives and such, and all around the city. And the way this feels compared to the Atto 3 is that this is a more comfortable expression of an EV SUV. Meaning the Atto 3, it's a fun, sportier crossover SUV in EV, but this one is going more for the comfort, clearly more for the comfort. And on the daily drive, let's say right now we're on EDSA, where there's a lot of bumps, lots of little patches here and there. In this car, you don't really have to avoid it. You just drive over it and let the suspension worry about it for you. Because it does a really good job in managing all the bumpy stuff. I mean, that's the remarkable thing about this. You just kind of cruise along, relax. You turn up the audio from the fantastic audio system. Again, I have to stress that more. The audio system of this is really, really great. But this is like for this kind of driving, like you're just cruising in the city or even on the highway because you've got all these ADAS tech toys to help you keep it in lane, the adaptive and intelligent cruise control to help you out as well, make it more convenient. But really, for that kind of driving that we do 99% of the time, which is in the city, in traffic, this is going to be fantastic. This is going to be very enjoyable for the majority of the driving, which is what we really want. We want a comfortable daily cruiser, and it's got the efficiency with its range. I mean, I've been maximizing the range of this vehicle the last couple of days, and in terms of the energy consumption, it's right there on the money. And the fact that this one does have the Type 2 charging, it makes it very convenient once you map out your route, even on long drives, to take into account the locations of the charging stations, whether you're going north or going south or going around the city, wherever you are, they're going to start popping up soon, making EVs a very viable choice for quite a few of those that want to go for zero emissions mobility. But for now, we're just going to enjoy it again here on EDSA. See, bumpy roads, no problem. You can see everyone else bouncing around. Us, we're just cruising. Oh, by the way, did I say I'm getting a massage right now? Fantastic stuff. What we're seeing with the Geely EX5 is an example of evolution. because not since like the 1990s, 80s, and 70s have we seen car technology progress so much. As you know, with internal combustion, not really much in terms of development apart from all the features and such like that. But with EVs, there really is a lot of technology making these cars so much better. And we're seeing it originally with the Atto 3 and now with the EX5. Now, in terms of technology, yes, the EX5 does a lot of things better compared to the Atto 3. But make no mistake about it, the Atto 3 still does hold its own. And that's what makes our market interesting. Diversity. Because if you want something more youthful and definitely established, then BYD is a great option. Geely is coming in and they want to level everything up. They're offering more for your money, and also a very established brand that is working to establish itself as a major player in the NEV, particularly BEV market. Now, which one would be for you? Well, that depends on you. In terms of pricing, this one retails at 1798. This one retails at 1799. Not much between them, but the choice is yours. This is Vince of Auto Industriya. Thank you for watching, and we're looking forward to doing more of these comparos because it's interesting to put these vehicles side by side. See you in the next one.